There's times when you're watching wrestling and there's just that segment that happens and you just wonder to yourself, how the hell did creative let that pass? How the hell did this get on television? And the Bobby Lashley sister segment is that one segment where it just goes down as one of the worst segments you've seen as a wrestling fan. It falls down the line as Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump inside the middle of the ring. It goes down to that Today Show segment where Adam Rose was partying with the Today Show chicks. It goes down to last year, This Is Your Life, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, where the WWE was so embarrassed by it, they didn't even upload it on YouTube. They took it out of existence because they don't want people to ever see how bad that was. And you can even make the argument Bayley still hasn't recovered from this. But when it comes down to it, this segment, Bobby Lashley's sisters, goes down in history as one of the worst Raw segments, no questions asked. This is just one of those segments where you just say, what the hell are they doing with Bobby Lashley? What the hell are they doing with Sami Zayn? Because we were watching this segment, we were watching this feud unfold, where for whatever reason Sami Zayn wants to get at Bobby Lashley. And WWE, instead of making Bobby Lashley this dominating force, Bobby Lashley is just someone that's just blowing by the competition. He looks like he's a future threat to guys like Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. Someone that is just going to be an uber competitive guy that you have to worry about. No, WWE wants us to feel for Bobby Lashley. WWE wants us to connect more to Bobby Lashley. They want us to emotionally have some attachment to Lashley. So we get into his feelings. We talk about Bobby Lashley's past with his sisters. Okay, first of all, why would anyone want to emotionally connect with Lashley in that type of way? Like, no offense, maybe the ladies out there do. But for me as a dude watching Lashley, I didn't like Lashley in Impact Wrestling because the dude was like, my sisters are so funny, they used to beat me up. No, I liked Lashley because MVP was hyping him up as the Destroyer and he was going to set up people with the spear and kill people. That's what got me into Bobby Lashley in TNA. Not Lashley freaking going out there talking to Renee Young how, oh, my sisters, they used to beat me up. It was a fun time. like for real. Do you really think that that's what people want with Lashley? And I get it. They're trying to add layers to the Lashley character. But right now is not the time to add layers to the Lashley character. Lashley is a guy that has literally been gone for the WWE for a while. Found and improved on his craft of professional wrestling, found his niche in Impact Wrestling, was a really good top guy for that company, and he was a guy that a lot of people were saying, man, I wish he had a second run in WWE. Even people who weren't big Lashley fans were thinking to themselves, man, I would love to see Lashley get another chance at WWE. If they bring this Lashley to WWE, that'd be great. But instead, you bring Lashley back. You haven't beat up Elias. That's fine. But instead, Lashley should have been this one guy that looks at Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. And he tells them, look, you guys are impressive, but Jack, you have nothing on me. I'm going to blow by this roster, and then I'm going to beat your two asses soon. That's what Bobby Lashley should have been. Because I remember there was a tag match that Braun Strowman was in, and Braun Strowman was showing off his strength. He was acting all badass, and Lashley was in the corner shaking his head like, man, I'm not impressed. Strowman gets the win for the team, and Lashley's not celebrating like everyone else was, like Rollins and Balor was in this match. Lashley was outside, and he just was like, shook his head, high-fived the fan, and that was it. He was not like acting like Strowman was impressive. That right there is good stuff. That right there is teasing a future matchup between two monsters, two badasses to go at it. You don't need to go to Lashley and Strowman right away. Like, no, if you're blowing Lashley and Strowman at Backlash, that's stupid. What you need to do is just tease it to the point where Strowman starts to acknowledge that, this Bobby Lashley's pretty legit. He's kicking everyone's ass like I do. I want to face that guy because I always talk about wanting competition. I want to face that guy. That's what you should be doing with Bobby Lashley. You should be making Bobby Lashley a threat to Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, because I've been seeing them talking to people. I always ask them, how would you use Lashley? And they say to me all the time, I would just have him face Roman right away. No, you tease him to Roman Reigns, but you don't go all the way to Roman Reigns. You don't go all the way to Braun Strowman. You make Lashley into a dominant force. You got to reestablish Lashley. But instead of reestablishing Lashley as a dominant force, Lashley has literally just been in tag team matches, and which is fine. Maybe Lashley has to get used to wrestling the WWE style again. Maybe Lashley is still trying to figure out what he wants to do as a moveset, which is okay. That's fine. That's something that sometimes wrestling fans tend to forget. Lashley's coming in and his two main finishers, the spear and the running power slam, are being used by two other top guys. He needs to find something else. So I thought that's what they were trying to do, was trying to work out Lashley's moveset, not rush Lashley right away to being a huge guy, because they want to start teasing the little matchups here and there. But instead, you're having it where WWE is trying to make you feel for Bobby Lashley, connect with Bobby Lashley, and this feud between Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. It's fine for Lashley to face Sami Zayn. It's fine for Lashley and Sami Zayn to have a match, to have a feud. That's not the problem. The problem is what you're trying to do with it. Because this should be Sami Zayn poking the bear. Bobby Lashley should have faced Kevin Owens at Backlash in a one-on-one match, because Lashley said, oh, you're a former Universal Champion. I want to kick your ass. And that's it. That's literally the reason why. Lashley just wants to beat Kevin Owens' ass because he's a former top guy. Kevin Owens is saying, oh, I don't want to do this. And Lashley's like, yeah, let's do this. Kevin Owens goes into Lashley's face for what he gave Sami Zayn vertigo or some shit. Bam! You have a singles match. Lashley wins. And this is where Sami Zayn is trying to avenge his friend. He's trying to poke the bear. This is where Sami Zayn tries to poke the bear a little bit, and Lashley's just not having it. And Lashley just wants to kick his ass just because Sami Zayn's annoying. That's a good enough feud in itself. Doesn't really need a lot of story to be told. Boom! Executed well. Simple. Not hard to do. But no, WWE has to go the extra mile. They always want to go the extra freaking mile. So we have to have Lashley feel. So instead of having it where, you know, you take three maybe attractive African-American women, you have them cut their promos, and you have where Lashley's pissed off at Sami Zayn for doing this, you do this instead. You have it where Lashley, who has this personal connection with his sisters, you have where Sami Zayn brings out three random dudes that I don't even know who the hell they are. You bring out three random dudes pretending they're African-American women, dressed in drag, holding the little props that Lashley talked about, the tennis racket, the helmet, the broomstick, the fucking cloth. You have it where they do this. And they're cutting these goofy and silly promos that are just not connecting with the audience whatsoever. And instead of Lashley coming out, and keep in mind, Bobby Lashley's character is, I love my sisters. They made me the man I am today. Instead of Lashley coming out pissed off beyond all belief that Sami Zayn would do this, that Sami Zayn is mocking his sisters, Lashley comes out and he's like, oh, that was great, Sami. I needed a joke like that. I needed a good laugh. Okay, time out here. WWE. You're trying to book this as to us to feel and sympathize with Bobby Lashley. That's your business. I don't agree with it, but that's what you want to do. So why the fuck is Lashley coming out and he's laughing along with this crap? Why is Lashley coming out and saying, oh, this is okay? No, Lashley should have literally came out. Look at those three dudes in drag. Look at Sami Zayn. Kick those three dudes in drag's ass. Chase after Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn narrowly escapes. Boom, bam. Thank you very much. Lashley's pissed. And now Sami Zayn has poked the bear to the point that he might get his ass kicked or destroyed at Money in the Bank. But no, instead, Lashley's joking around, having a good time. And then these three dudes in drag beat up Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley manages to break out the fight, beats down Sami Zayn, and there you go. Why am I going to be interested if they wrestle at Money in the Bank? I already saw what I wanted to see in Bobby Lashley kicking Sami Zayn's ass. Why should I care that these two are feuding? This is trash. Because you can't have it where you're trying to build up sympathy for Lashley and then all of a sudden make it where Lashley's coming out like, ah, that was funny. Oh man, good joke, Sami. You're a good friend. Like, no! That doesn't do anything. And I get it, Lashley was trying to be sarcastic, but the thing is, you're calling him the Dominator. He has this personal connection with these sisters, and he's acting like this is a funny joke. Like, no! Not every babyface that you build has to be a freaking sarcastic asshole. It's just not hard. You look at Lashley, he looks like a Battletoad. Have him be a Battletoad. Have him kick some ass. Why is it's so hard for you, WWE, just to do something with him? Because look, don't get me wrong. Funny segments have their place and time in WWE. Funny segments can work. But when it comes down to it, this was something that is just poorly executed. This is something where fans are just confused. Because you hear fans like me talk about Lashley saying, oh, he's a badass. And then you see shit like this and you don't believe that. And I'm sure, yes, when Brock Lesnar is done hunting deers or eating Jimmy John's or whatever the hell Brock Lesnar does on his day offs, and he looks to go make his $636,000 just for jumping in the ring for a little bit, I'm pretty sure when Lashley and Lesnar have the stare down, we won't think about this segment ever again, and we won't bitch and complain about how badly Lashley has been booked. But honestly, man, you're trying to get people hyped up for Lashley. You want people long-term to say, oh, man, I want to see Lashley face this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. This is just making me say, golly, why did Lashley come back? And I don't want to feel like that for Bobby Lashley. I'm a Lashley fan. I want Lashley to succeed in what he wants to do. You know, I felt like he should have stayed with Impact Wrestling a little bit, because I felt that was his niche. I thought that he was doing good there. But also I wanted to see him challenge himself. And seeing Lashley when he came back and he said that he was looking for the next challenge in his life, that was something I could get behind as a human being. Because as a human being, we always want to improve. I just want Lashley to be an ass kicker. I don't want Lashley to freaking be all of a sudden sympathy. We have to feel sorry for this dude because look at what you did with one big guy that you make us feel sympathetic with. Oh yeah, his name is Roman Reigns and it's not working. If it doesn't work with one wrestler, what makes you think it's going to work with another? Stop doing stupid stuff. Stop it. Because this segment right here was just trash. It was just bad. It was poorly executed. I feel bad for Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley that they have to do this. I just don't know. How hard is it just to have a simple segment where you had maybe 3, and I'm not saying the women had to be attractive, but you know WWE, they always love to make it where every woman's attractive. You had 3 attractive black women come out. They talk about how Lashley was just such a bully. It turns out Sami Zayn paid them to say this, and Lashley's even pissed off even more. Because not only did his sisters come out there and they just ragged on him, and he thought they were on his side, it just turns out that Sami paid them, and that makes Lashley even more pissed off that Sami paid them. Boom! Would have been so much better than what the fuck we got. But what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan, and I'm not supposed to know anything. Because there's a reason why I'm a fan and not a creative writer, right? Anyways, screw this segment. I got a SmackDown live stream later tonight. Come join that if you like. Have a good one. I'll see you all soon.